Why did the narcissist choose you? Narcissists and other negative types of people take advantage of us. They drain our energy. They take our kindness without bothering to give us anything back for it. Whether you're dealing with an addict, an abuser, or just a straight up narcissist, your boundaries get disrespected. You deal with blame, criticism, and you're made to feel so bad about yourself that you don't even have the energy to leave sometimes, right? So what is it about you, my friend? What is it about you that creates such an attraction to narcissists? Why are narcissists so attracted to you? That's what we're talking about today at queenbeing.com. Let's get started. My name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. Does that sound good to you? If so, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. So let me guess, you're someone who is kind of really compassionate by nature, right? You really care about other people. Do you kind of feel other people's pain and joy and any kind of emotion that someone else puts out there? Well, here's the thing. If you can relate to that, it makes sense that narcissists are attracted to you. You are someone who feels such strong love for people in the world and so much compassion. It's an intense combination, and it makes you want to give to people. It makes you want to help people, take care of people a little bit, right? A lot of times when people meet you, they're probably really amazed by your love and understanding, maybe your lack of judgment, or at least that's how it used to be before you met your narcissist, right? And now you probably find yourself being manipulated, being treated like you don't matter, being controlled. Narcissists are experts at manipulation and control, and they sense that you're a person who reacts strongly to their negative emotions or positive ones and does whatever he or she can to make everything better when the narcissist displays extreme emotion. There are some more things we should consider in this little equation though. There are 5 big points that a narcissist looks for in someone like you and me, in someone they want to make into their primary source of supply. The first thing you have to realize is that narcissists need people who will stroke their egos. And I don't know about you, but I have this tendency whenever I'm with someone to try to really build up their self-esteem. I really want my person to feel really good about me and him or herself, okay? So anyone in my life, my husband, my children, every person I've ever dated, my friends, I work really hard to try to help build up their self-esteem. It's just part of who I am, right? Well, if you're like that at all, or you have similar qualities to that, that's very attractive to a narcissist. The thing is, the narcissist's ego is surprisingly fragile. It's something to be aware of and be careful with. It's hard to not be yourself though, isn't it? A narcissist wants someone they can count on. They like to say things like, oh, you're my rock, or they want someone steady and strong. A narcissist tends to be unpredictable. They tend to be outlandish. They tend to have big fantasy worlds they live in. They want someone they can count on to take care of them. They need that parent type relationship on some level with everyone. The next thing you want to think about is that narcissists want someone who has empathic qualities. They want someone who will take care of their needs. And that's one of the things they look for at the beginning of the relationship. They will display some extreme emotion or do or say something that makes it clear that they feel a certain way, and they watch for how you respond to that. Do you take care of their emotions, or do you just ignore them and move on? The next thing they want is they really enjoy smart people. A narcissist doesn't want to be with someone stupid. They want to be with someone who they can show off on their arm. They want to be with someone who can make them feel smarter themselves. They have a really interesting way of taking away from your personal energy and pretending it's their own. I like to say they like to stand in our light sometimes. You feel what I mean? And finally, the narcissist needs someone who is self-sufficient up to a point. If you're not already there, they help you get there very quickly by emotionally isolating you. They isolate you not only from other people, but also from themselves by saying that they don't understand your problems, or the things that you talk about aren't legitimate or real, things like that. And then the fact is that narcissists take any insecurity that you might have in your life and they use it against you. So what they do is, if they find out, oh, I'm insecure about the fact that I wear glasses, let's say. I'm not. But let's say that I were. A narcissist might start, if it were a husband narcissist or, someone I was dating or whatever, this person might say something like, oh, I just love how faces look without glasses. They're so beautiful without glasses. It's too bad you have to wear glasses. I bet you're really pretty under there. Things like that. So whatever the insecurity is that you happen to have, they're going to take it, twist it, and poke it in the back of you like a knife. You know what I'm saying? They're very vindictive, and they will hurt you on purpose because they can. So you'll get exploited in that way. Any type of insecurity you have will be exploited by the narcissist in order to further get what they want. What you get out of that then is you get someone who might be fun sometimes. You get someone who might make you interested, somebody who might look good, or somebody who might be good in bed, or none of those things. You get a narcissist. Because regardless of whether or not they have those qualities or any qualities that you do enjoy, which I'm sure they probably do at the beginning at least, by the time you get to the point where you're in the devalue and the discard phases, you're not getting any of that. You're getting the ugly side only, none of the good things, and it's miserable. Or at least it goes like this. At the beginning, you know, there's like, oh, everything's wonderful. And then it kind of goes like, here's the good stuff, here's the bad stuff. Kind of goes like this, kind of goes like this. And pretty soon you realize you've got all this bad stuff and like 5% good stuff. It's not enough. It's not enough. And then you feel stupid. But you're not stupid. I want you to watch a video that I did called, This is Why Something About Very Smart People Can Be Gaslighted. Everybody can be gaslighted, even and especially very smart people. And there are some good reasons for that. So I want you to watch that video. But what it comes down to is that we get sucked in. We think, oh my gosh, I finally found someone who gets me, or someone who excites me, because they mirror us and they figure out what we want and they become it during the love bombing phase. But then we find ourselves broken. And we find ourselves feeling lost and drained and like we've got nothing left. And ultimately, we end up feeling less secure in ourselves than we ever have, and we end up thinking we're worth nothing. So how can you avoid narcissists in the future? One of the first things you can do is ask the person you're dating for something you need or want during the beginning of your relationship and see how they respond. So, for example, let's just say that there's a movie you really want to see. Mention it to the narcissist and see if he or she makes it a point to, you know, make sure you see the movie. Maybe they want to go with you, or see how they react. If they just, oh, that's interesting, and then they never do anything, try another thing. Try, you know, oh, I'd really like to, you know, go to this restaurant sometime. Or if you're going out to eat right then, say, hey, I heard about this great restaurant, and can we try that? See how they respond. A narcissist generally will think of a reason and a way to make it not about you. Now, sometimes during the love bombing phase, there will be some give. But remember, it's really easy to be fooled because sometimes narcissists are really good at giving. But the catch is that it's got to be something that they want to give. Believe it or not, a narcissist is not always going to be very interested in someone who makes sure they get their own needs met. So if you can make sure that you get your needs met from the beginning of a relationship, chances are you won't, if they're a narcissist, it won't work out and they won't stick around. Another thing that you need to do is make sure that you have your deal breakers. So decide ahead of time what things are acceptable to you and what things are not in a relationship. For example, I have deal breakers even now in my marriage. And the deal breakers are, number 1, don't cheat on me. Number 2, don't hit me. And number 3, don't hurt my kids in any way. If those things are violated in my relationship, I'm out without discussion, and it is a known fact in my relationship. The same thing applies to you. You should have your deal breakers, whatever they are. What are your deal breakers? Tell me in the comments below. Don't compromise your values for anyone, not in the beginning of a relationship or ever, especially if those are really intrinsic things, really things that are important to you. Don't allow yourself to ignore red flags. You want to give the benefit of the doubt, but don't be too permissive with that. Don't be too flexible. And what I mean is, you know, if you, let's say you're a vegetarian and you can't stand the idea of eating, you know, dating anyone who eats meat, which means you wouldn't be able to date me, but we're cool, right? Anyway, so you are a vegetarian. You've told everybody, you know what? I don't date people who eat meat. And everybody's cool with that, right? Well, watch what happens. What they do is they'll start to sort of push your boundaries slowly, right? So in this case, if you say, I'll never date anyone who eats meat, and this person, you know, orders a salad and then they order a steak on the side on the first date and they go, what? I'm eating salad. You know, and you like them so much that you're like, okay, well, I'll let you eat your steak, but I really don't like people who eat meat. Can we not eat meat again? And then, of course, now they've pushed your boundary. He says, I only eat steak on Saturdays, or I only eat steak once a year, and today's the day I eat steak. Whatever excuse they make, if you allow that, then what you've done is you've pushed your boundary. And you know, so make sure you maintain your boundaries. That's an important part of this whole deal of avoiding a narcissist, narc repellent, or whatever you want to call it. And finally, I've said this a bazillion times, but finally, let me say it. Don't commit yourself too fast. Make sure you take plenty of time. If you're dating somebody, you can't tell if they're a narcissist, but you really like them or whatever, because it's really hard to see a narcissist during the love bombing phase. Would you agree? But this is a red flag. If they're telling you they loved you within 2 or 3 weeks, if they tell you they see their children and their future children in your eyes, or they start talking about, what if you had my last name or I had your last name or whatever, marriage. Think about these things. Give yourself time. Make yourself wait a certain amount of time before you commit to this person. And if sex is something that makes you feel really connected to someone, wait a while on sex, okay? Because I know that for a lot of us, sex is a very big connector. It makes us feel connected to a person. And so if you're one of those people, make sure that you don't have sex too early. Give yourself, some people say 6 dates is a good amount of time. Some people say longer. Some people say less. Do whatever feels right to you. Make sure that you protect your heart, that you keep your mind open and aware. I don't want you to shove someone off just because they have lettuce in their teeth or something, right? But I don't want you to just accept every single little infraction. Something like lettuce or spinach in a person's teeth is no big deal. It's, unless maybe they refuse to remove it and they add some more in there. I mean, that would gross me out, I gotta tell you. But someone who violates your personal ethics, someone who asks you to do the same, someone who makes you feel less than, small, not good enough, someone who makes you wait for them or doesn't show up when they say they will, someone who lies to you, these are the people you need to watch out for. Be careful, have standards, but don't be so rigid with small things that you miss somebody really good. Does that make any sense? And now it's time for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, have you ever been with a narcissist? And if so, what do you think attracted the narcissist to you? And do you think you attract narcissists all the time or just sometimes? Share your thoughts in the comments below and let's talk about it. That's all I've got for you right now. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And hey, thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. I'll see you soon.
It's my mission to teach others what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. Take care of your body, take care of your soul, nurture the real you, and introduce him or her to the world. Be comfortable in your own skin and in your place in this world. Take your spot, take it now, and the universe will take its cue from you. You feel me? If so, subscribe to my channel. Let's get it done together.